Good morning. It is about 6 a.m. Normally I'm in session, but my client canceled. So I am gonna go for a walk and get some steps in before the rest of my day starts. So I'm on my walk and I want to talk to you a little bit more about how I'm structuring my nutrition. So I am doing a 60-day challenge of trying to lose weight, but also build a significant amount of muscle. So what I'm doing, instead of counting and measuring and tracking all of my macros, is I'm using rough estimates via hand portions. So I'm looking to achieve some macro numbers, but I'm not going out with a scale, and I'm trying to make it more reasonable to actually be successful with this. So I've used this technique with a lot of clients and I found a lot of success using hand portions. So let's kind of talk about how to do that. Hand portions are really great because it's a tool that we're going to be able to carry with us at all times. And it can be broken up into carbs, fats, and proteins. So how can you actually measure the different macronutrients with your hand? So when we're talking about protein, we want to use our palm as our reference guide. A palm-sized piece of protein is generally going to be around 20 to 30 grams of protein. And now that's for lean meats. Now, if you have a higher fat meat, like a pork shoulder or a ribeye, those are not going to be the same. You're probably going to have significantly lower protein and significantly higher fats. For carbs, we can also use our hand portions to get a relatively accurate measurement for how much we need to eat. Carbs is going to be a cup of your hand, and that's going to be roughly 20 to 30 grams of carbs. Now, for me, as a larger individual, I've calculated the amount of carbs that I need to be at 300 to 400 carbs. That means I'm going to need about 10 to 13 handfuls of carbs throughout the day to achieve my macronutrient goal. When it comes to fat, we're going to track it using just our thumb size. Now, our thumb is going to be roughly 7 to 12 grams of protein, and for me, I've calculated my macronutrient for fat to be around 40 to 50 grams of protein per day. I personally do not enjoy fatty foods, so I go towards the lower end of what's recommended for a healthy diet, just because it's just not the types of foods that I enjoy eating. Now, it's important to remember that these are recommended for whole natural foods. If I were to use the same measurement strategy for processed foods, those macronutrients are going to be way off. Say I was going to eat sour candy and I did a cupful of sour candy, that's going to be significantly more than 20 to 30 grams. So be mindful of the foods that you're eating, and you can use this to accurately track your macros throughout the course of the day.
Not only did my first session cancel, but my second session also canceled. So I did a nice walk and also worked out. Did a nice, easy, like 40-ish minute workout, a lot more active and like sport kind of training, a little bit more dynamic, some jumping, squats, and then core work. So it was a great day overall. Now I'm headed in for some actual work.
So I've kind of been resting on my laurels for the last probably 2.5 years. I've been really inconsistent with training, just kind of training a couple times a month and nothing really ever super structured. And with my diet, it's been even worse. Like, I've really enjoyed foods and traveling and trying a bunch of new things. But more often than not, I've been eating really poor choices. So now that I am looking to make this change, not just for the aesthetics, but also for like my health, it's really difficult to make that shift. And I understand what so many people go through when they are looking to make dietary changes. It is not an easy process. You're gonna go through a lot of cravings and a lot of struggles with these things. Like right now, all I would really love is ice cream. Ice cream is one of my favorite things I've ever eaten. Now, generally speaking, it's all right to have some ice cream. It's all right to eat those things, but you run into the issue once you start, it's hard to stop. And that's generally speaking my issue is I really, really enjoy ice cream. So if I start to bring it in, it's gonna be something that I'm gonna crave regularly. So for some people, for me specifically, it's usually easier for me to go cold turkey on things and then work towards adding some of this back into my life in moderation. But at first, I do have to kind of struggle through these cravings initially in order to be successful in this. So I just wanted to make this clip to truly show you that I do struggle with these things, even as a fitness professional, even knowing all the things and loving to cook and loving to make whole natural foods. It's still difficult because of just the ease in which you can get these not great for you foods. And it's not bad foods or good foods, it's just better choice foods for your specific goals. So I am going to show you a lot more of the foods I'm eating and the decisions I'm going through and the difficulties that I'm having with these specific dietary changes.